everybody, and welcome on behalf of Team Mind Retreat. My name is Kalindi Multani. I'm joining you from Chicago. I'm one of your co-hosts for today, along with Pravesh Savanji, who joins us from Mauritius, as well as Swati Kadir. I'm excited about this discussion today, and it gives me great honor to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today, Saroj Modi. She is the co-founder of the Inner Startup. It is an experiential training firm based in India. She's also a very seasoned practitioner and trainer of holistic healing for over 30 years of experience working with individuals and organizations. Her integrated methods focus on mental and physical well-being, and her unique approach brings together a range of modalities, healing modalities, including naturopathy, yoga, acupressure, Reiki, pranic healing, psychotherapy, and EFT. She has also been a yoga advisor to our ex-president of India, late Dr. R. Venkatraman. So I really thank you, Sarojji, for making the time again to be with us today. I'm sure all of you know our beloved captain, but he always brings us these beautiful guests and teaches us wonderful meditation techniques every day. As you know, Captain is also very passionate about energy healing, meditation, yoga, spirituality, and guides hundreds of people through mindfulness meditation. And he's also going to be talking to us a little bit more about our topic for today on sound healing. So coming back today to the theme of our masterclass, sound therapy. I think, we are all aware of how sounds and music affects our mind and body. We love to listen to our very own Puran uncle belt out old Hindi songs at the end of our daily morning classes, and it puts a smile on our faces. So our thoughts, feelings, words, and moods are all vibrational states. The feelings of love, appreciation, and gratitude that we cultivate, they cause our heart to produce coherent frequencies, whereas feelings of frustration, anger, stress, and other negative emotions cause the heart to produce incoherent frequencies. So just like feelings and thoughts and words create vibrational states in the same way, sound as one of the 5 key senses also affects our minds, our bodies, and emotions and energy levels. So can you imagine the thought of fingernails scraping on a blackboard elicits a very different reaction than the bells in a temple or a violin playing. In the Vedic tradition, it is said that one of the ways that sound travels through the body is through currents or nadis. And so the yoga of sound is called Nada Yoga. And in yoga, we say that the whole existence, the whole universe is just a sound. But it is not all in our experience because our hearing range is limited. In fact, sound is more than what we just hear. Sound is a vibration. It is a frequency. An example I would like to share of unheard sound is in the medical procedures. We know something called as ultrasound. The sound is not heard, yet it creates an image of the soft tissue inside our body. And it also creates a soothing effect on the damaged muscle tissue. So without diverging too much, for the purpose of this class, we will focus on sound healing as an ancient practice of bringing balance and health to the body. So just like a skilled musician is able to tune his musical instrument to create harmonious notes, we all are embarking on a journey to learn how we can use sound, particularly the Sanskrit alphabets, the Bija syllables that carry vibrational energies to tune our body into a better state of health and balance. So I encourage you to please keep a book and a pen handy to make notes, because the next 40 minutes is going to be a fabulous and immersive integrative experience of sound healing guided by Sarojji and Captain Mehta. On that note, I will turn it over to Captain to continue and to Sarojji to start our discussion.
Thank you, Kalindi. Well begun is half done. And you have said it all so well. The importance of sound cannot be undermined. It's everything. Sometimes it's pleasing, sometimes it's annoying. When it's pleasing, you feel good. There is a change in the chemical reaction of our body. And when it is not pleasing, there is a different kind of chemical reaction which changes in our body. Well, more Saroj Modi will talk about it. I now ask, मैं सरोज मोदी से दरखास्त करूंगा कि आज की सभा प्रारंभ करें.
Thank you, Pratap, and thank you, Kalindi. The sound is okay?
Perfect.
Yes.
As Kalindi has told you, the sound is vibration. I'll just tell you one story. When I was doing my course, I did learn mind sound resonance technique and I was using on my patients. But how I became very serious about it, there was one story in the newspaper. One person, he had all 3 arteries blockages in his heart. And he he fixed up the appointment with the doctor. And doctor said, you have to go for bypass surgery. So he visited his friend. And he said, I have to go through this bypass surgery. He said, why do you want to go to the bypass surgery? There is a temple in Purandipur, Maharashtra, Vitthal temple. Go walking there while chanting Vitthal, Vitthal, Vitthal. You will find the arteries are open. A lot of people are getting benefited. So this person said, okay, let me try. He went. It took him few days to reach there and come back. And kept on chanting Vitthal, 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 like walking up to that city or town and came back. And he found the arteries were opened up. Now the story I read in Times of India, I was using the sound technique, but it made me forced to, how could it happen? And that too so fast.
Sarojji, Sarojji, can I interrupt here?
Yes.
You narrated a beautiful story which you found in Times of India. I want to share the same story of my own self just now. Give me 1 minute.
Okay, sure.
In 2009, in 2002, I had a what do you call angioplasty, and a couple of stents were put. In 2009, I was again feeling breathless. So I went to our cardiologist in Navy Hospital and he said, there is no urgency, but we will need to do restenosis because your arteries are getting blocked again. You know, now what happens, what a coincidence. My father-in-law came to stay with me in 2009 and said, Jamai Raja, can you take me to Pandharpur temple? I haven't seen that. You please make a visit to Pandharpur temple. Now you heard the background. So we drove down in our car with my son, with my better half, and I think daughter was there or not. We went to that, we drove down, and throughout on the journey, I saw people only chanting Vitthal, 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 Vitthal going. Now that is not the story ending here. I got down 10 kilometers before the temple. 10 kilometers before the temple, I told my son, you take the car. And I went walking along with one group, Vitthal, 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 Vitthal. I think I haven't mentioned to you, Saroj, this story. And we finished our pilgrimage to that temple town. After 3 days, came back. And of course, the whole family was a little curious, how is he going to walk? But then they had trust in me. We came back. after about 5-6 days, I went back to the cardiologist and he said, we will have to do the angiography first. When he did the angiography, he said, your blockages have reduced by almost 70%. And instead of putting a stent, he just did ballooning because probably he had to do something. That's it. And what you said is perfectly all right.
Just all of you try Vitthal, how the tha is hitting the arteries of your heart. Just try. All of you speak and try 3-4 times. Vitthal, Vitthal,
Yeah,
Vitthal,
unmute yourself.
Vitthal.
All
And
of you unmute yourself.
You will find it is hitting in that area only.
Yeah.
Vitthal, Vitthal. Let's hear the sound. Unmute, please, everyone. Reshma to Sangeeta, Virendra Kumar Rathi, please unmute. Deepti, Deepa, Vitthal.
In India, there has been very old practices. In Ayurveda, they were using Mani Mantra Aushadhi. Mani means gems, different type of pearls and corals they were using for medicine also as well as for the skin also. And mantra was the sound therapy. And Aushadhi, you know, herbal Aushadhi they were using. So they were using in olden days also Mani Mantra Aushadhi, then only the Ayurveda treatment was complete. Now you would have seen any patient who is suffering, who is in pain, what does he do? Ah, oh, e. The patient creates the sound. And can you believe the medically it is established the sound gives relief in the pain. More than the painkiller, the sound gives relief in the pain. This has been established by the doctors, physicians. Okay, I do, when I treat the patient, I give them acupressure also. And what I found after giving acupressure, the person sometimes is in lot of pain. And when they respond to the pain, they make the sound and suddenly they come up with some emotional expressions. And so troubled me so that I got into the problem. They become very expressive. So I found those points are making them speak also. This has been my experience for last many years. Swami Niranjanananda Saraswati went to Barcelona. He's from Bihar School of Yoga. And there some doctors asked him, can you do something for the patients who are going for surgery because they are in a lot of tension and stress? He said, yes. So he started giving them Om chanting in a very rhythmic way. After the chanting, can you believe the anesthesia's strength was only 50% it was given. It reduced so much. And they are still using the same technique in Barcelona till now. If you remember Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he said, तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा. Thousands and thousands and thousands people came with him. Ladies then and there took out their ornaments and handed over to him to finance him. This was only sound. Sound can make so much of impact. We have nearly 50 trillion cells in our body. Every cell is vibrating. And as Kalindi has explained to you, vibration, wherever there is vibration, there is sound. Whenever that vibrational pattern in the body gets disturbed, we become sick. You restore that pattern and you will find you have come out of that sickness. Because every cell is vibrating, every organ is vibrating because it's made of the cells. And they have to vibrate in coordination with other organs. They don't vibrate in separately like a community. They live in our body. That is how they vibrate. Now, I want you to just experience how the sound vibrates. And then I'll go further. So Pratap, can we chant E while keeping the hand on the neck and the head?
Yeah, Pravesh. Yeah.
So we place our right hand on our throat and the left hand on our head.
Okay, now all of you inhale deeply and chant E. Continue 3 times. Now you can drop the hand. Could you feel the vibration in the throat and the head, both places?
Yes. Yes.
So when you create the sound, how the vibrations travel from throat to the brain. So whatever scientifically, actually the Sanskrit language is very, very scientific. Although this is not the topic, so I can't discuss. These sounds travel to your brain as well as to the vocal cord also and in that area and stimulate. Then what does it do? Even medically it is proven. They have proven only humming sound. But all the sounds, I have a video on YouTube, you can go through it. All the sounds travel in different parts of your brain, vocal cord as well as other part of your body also. What it does, it dilates your blood vessels. So your blood circulation becomes better. When your blood circulation improves, more nutrients go to your brain. Your memory sharpens. The clarity of thoughts also increases. There is an enhancement in your energy. Rejuvenation takes place. A lot of good effects of sound. And interestingly, if you eat solid food, it takes 3 to 4 hours to send the nutrients to your brain or other part of the body also. You drink the water or other liquid, you will find it takes half an hour, 45 minutes to send those nutrients to your brain and other part of the body. The breathing which is happening all the time, when you breathe in, the oxygen mixes up with the blood, then the oxygen heart supplies to various parts of the body. So that also takes some time. But can you believe the sound impact is there on the spot, then and there? It doesn't take even seconds. Then and there is impact. So how powerful it can be, the sound therapy. Now sound we have at different levels. The first level of sound, In Sanskrit, it is called Vaikhari. Means when you strike something and you speak, when it is audible to your ears. What happens? Sound needs the medium to travel. It can travel through water, through air, and through solid. Body has air, body has water. Nearly 72% is water in the body. So when we create the sound, it travels through the ear with the medium air. And when it goes inside the eardrum, then there is no air. It turns to the electrical impulses as chemicals go to our brain and gets registered in our memory. And the memory becomes a permanent thing. That is why we recognize so many sounds, so many faces. Those memory thing is always there with us. Only thing, in old days, the recalling becomes weak. So we don't know. We think we have forgotten. But that memory always remains with us. So what happens in Vaikhari? This is audible sound from outside. I would like to give an example so that it's more clear to you. Suppose I'm talking, I'm very happy. I want to meet Kalindi. I go to her house, but she is very angry with me. Okay, she abuses me. She's very harsh with me. I get very upset. My stress level is high. What will happen? I will have secretion of stress hormones in my body. My energy will go in depletion. I'll get very upset, depressive feeling. I come back home. It is impacting my energy level. It is secreting stress hormones in my body. And emotionally I'm disturbed, I'm very sad. When I come back home, my child is asking me something, I am telling him, don't talk to me right now. Just keep quiet. I'm socially also. So I get into imbalance of this sound. Sound has bad and good effect both. So right now I am expelling the bad effect of sound. This was the first level of sound when it was audible. Now then it goes to the second level. That is called, in Sanskrit, it is called Madhyama, in between. What happens after a few days, I again recollect from my memory. Oh, Kalindi was so bad to me. She was so harsh to me. Can you believe again you are passing through the same stress level and you are secreting the same stress hormones in you. And we go through with all that imbalance thing again. Again, I may be bad in socializing after going through this experience. My energy may get depleted again. So the sound becomes mental. It is outer and inner. So because it is coming from the memory. Now I will continue having that memory. And whenever I recollect that sound, I'll be giving the food to that memory. Adding food to the memory, it will become stronger and stronger with me. Although it is negative, and it will keep on impacting my health. Now,
Saroja Aunty, if it's not coming from a memory and it's coming from a movie that we are watching, will it have the same effect?
Whatever you register, good or bad, it will impact you. If you are registering things, it will give you more energy. The energy will go in expansion. If you are putting negative things, the energy will go in contraction. That is for sure. So you pick up from the movie, we pick up from the news. Nowadays, a lot of people are getting very upset because of Afghanistan. Whatever we are putting in our memory, it is bound to impact us.
Yes.
Now then the sound goes on the third level. In Sanskrit, it is called Pashyanti, visuals. Somewhere I am going and hear the sound of Kalindi. And I associate immediately with that hearing what she was talking to me. So hearing, I visualize her and I can hear the sound. Or suddenly Kalindi comes to my house. Somebody says she has come to my house. I have heard, I have not seen her. I can visualize her, how she was talking to me. So the sound can create visuals, visual can create sound again. It goes to the third level. You would have seen from very far off, even if you hear the sound of harmonium, you know it. Oh, this is the sound of harmonium. So sound is creating visuals. You see some drum lying in front of you, you know what the drum creates the sound. So visuals are creating the sound. We go to the third level. You can see how the sound can impact us and can take through the negative feelings also. Same thing, same time, it can create positive feeling also if you have registered the positive things in you. Somewhere you have made good friendship, you are very happy. You want to meet that friend again, mentally you are thinking about that person. And every time the person comes, you are very happy to meet because whatever you talked, how you met. WHO says 92% diseases are psychosomatic. Only 8% disease are caused by bacteria and viruses. So for bacteria and viruses, our modern medicine has enough treatment. They are able to help us. But 92% is psychosomatic. But if we want to treat only with the medication, you can imagine where we are going to reach. The mind has to be treated. The emotions have to be treated. And sound works wonderfully in it. There is a fourth level of sound. Para. In Sanskrit, it is called para. Para means beyond. It is beyond the mind, beyond the body, beyond the sense organs. It has no beginning. It has no end. You can call it sound of silence or sound of universe. It is always there. When we listen to these sounds, your memory will sharpen. The students will concentrate more on their studies, more clarity of thoughts, better understanding, stress will get released, more relaxation. Overall, it is something wonderful, very friendly chemical secretion in the body. To me, it has been very, very helpful thing. It has helped me a lot to understand a lot of other things which I did not know. The para. I would like, let's first chant some sound. Like, Pratap, can we do it?
Yeah, tell me. Adesh de.
In one breath. If you want to learn, for beginners, I have the video in YouTube. You can go through and you can experience the chanting. Here we are going to chant in one breath, A, U, Ma. The A sound is created from the navel region, umbilicus region. And you must try while lying in the bed. You relax the whole body in Shavasana. Then inhale deeply, chant A. You will find the vibrations are traveling towards both the legs. So lower part, although it travels all over the body, but more towards the legs. So lower part of the body will have that resonance and vibrations. You will have the impact, more impact. When you chant U, the sound comes from the middle of the chest. After chanting, while chanting it, the sound does, you need not to wait. Then and there you can feel it. So when you are chanting, the vibrations will be traveling from chest to the other lower part of your body, all over the body, towards the hands also. And when you chant Ma, where it is closed, lips are slightly open, not fully closed. It travels from neck to the upper part of your body, means head. The more sound comes in this area. So a lot of people, when they want to meditate and they want to visualize here. So I came across with many people, they say, whenever we visualize in that area, we get headache. No, you just do chanting of Makar. We call Akar, Ukar, Makar. If you keep doing this Makar chanting, you will find automatically your awareness has increased here because the vibration increased there. You are not putting efforts, it is happening. So easy. So now we will chant 3 times A, U, Ma in one breath. I will do one thing. First, I will show you. You all do not chant. After that, you unmute yourself and all of you chant together. So how we can chant in one breath? Just listen to me. Could you hear all of you?
Yes.
Now you can unmute yourself.
Yes.
And chant together. Inhale deeply. Continue. Again. While keeping your eyes closed. Continue.
I think, as you mentioned, these 3 syllables, when we do this chanting, need to be in, it will be good if they are in the equal proportion, let's say 1/3, 1/3. Am I right, Sarojji?
Yes, 1/3, 1/3, but even if little bit difference is there, it's okay.
Approximately something.
In the beginning, it may not happen. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, so when we are chanting it, it will generate lot of vibration in say, various part of the body, including brain. Different type of vibrations go to the brain at different area of your brain and it stimulates. Not only stimulate, as everything is vibrating in the body. As per quantum physics, the body is nothing but bundle of vibration only. So you are increasing those vibrations. More vibration, more vibrant energy you have. When people, they say, oh, he has very vibrant energy. From where it is coming? This is the vibrational pattern of the cells in the body. How it vibrates? If we are holding lot of negative emotions in us, our vibrational pattern will be different. Not really very good. And it creates problem for us because negative emotions will give tension in the blood vessels, more pressure on the heart, the breathing will not be very light, the circulation will be poor, the digestion may not be that good. So what is happening? Everywhere, because of lack of energy, body is not able to cope up and we become sick. But where is our subconscious mind? Let me ask you this. Will anybody speak? Where is our subconscious mind? We said our conscious mind is only 10%. 90% of our being is our subconscious mind. Where is that?
Vibrating with negative emotions.
Okay, suppose I'm sitting here. Somebody keeps a hot cup of tea and I do not know. It does happen sometimes with us. Somebody has kept it here. I do not know. Consciously, I do not know the hot cup of tea is kept here. My hand goes there. Before I touch it, I pull my hand. The change of temperature. My cells know there is a hot thing, something hot here. Isn't it? Okay. So, where is my subconscious mind? It lives in every cell of the body. When fetus is forming, every cell knows, they have consciousness, they are conscious about, I have to become eye, I have to become ear, nose, nails, fingers. Every cell knows what that has to become because they are conscious. We have this body perfectly all right. When the consciousness goes haphazard, they go out of conscious, we get deformed bodies also. So the subconscious mind is living in every cell of our body. Where we are holding our emotions, every cell holds that emotions. Have you noticed when you mentally get upset, the body goes in depletion of energy, don't feel like doing things. Have you noticed? All the cells, because they have consciousness, they listen to the mind. And they behave accordingly. They have very strong memory. So whatever mind says, they listen to it. As they are listening, they will behave in the same way. We are upset for something, or we get into fear. What happens? All of you have given exams. What happens when you enter in examination hall? Butterfly, isn't it? Some people get headaches. Some people get loose motions. Some people lose the appetite. Insomnia. Exams. Reason, we have programmed ourselves. Exam means fear and anxiety. Consciously, we know we have done very good studies, but subconscious, what we have programmed, exams, fear and anxiety. Now, every year we have been giving exams, and every year we have been facing the same thing. Reason, we have programmed ourselves like this. And that is why we suffer. And can you believe, when did I learn it? I'll give you, my son used to give exams. He was very consistent in his studies. Whenever he was giving the exams, 7 o'clock in the evening, he will close his books, watch the TV. Morning, he will get up, read the newspaper, and go and give the exams. And I used to get worried. Oh, you are not studying. He said, Mom, I have studied. Don't worry. Examination is nothing, only common sense. He used to give me counseling in those days. I used to be worried for him. And he has been topper. From Delhi University also, he has been gold medalist. So there I learned why some people, I get some children, they are very upset during the exams. Parents are saying, please help them. And when they come to me, I feel as I have forgotten everything. So how we program ourselves at subconscious level, that is how the body also start responding the same way. This is what happens with all of us. So now it is understood, Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti means the sound which is audible through the ear, the sound which is there in mental level through memory, and the sound which you can visualize. Pashyanti. Okay. Now we go to the sound para. As I told you, it is beyond the mind, beyond the body, beyond the sense organs. No beginning, no end. Do you want to experience it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. It is called sound of silence or sound of universe. Inner sound. What you have to do? There are two ways of, you have to block your ears here. Because you don't hear from here, this sound. It is already existing. So there are two ways. Either you put the fingers in your ear, index finger. First you watch me. Index finger. Turn it. Unlock the jaw. You have to block your ear canals completely. No sound should enter into your ear. Another way is, this is pinna here, sort of tag thing here. You can block with this.
Suroja Aunty, will you repeat it one more time? How to block it?
See, this is pinna here. And block it fully. Even the air should not enter in your ear. And then listen to it. Will you try now? All of you?
Yeah, the important thing here is, after blocking, drop your jaw. See, if you keep your mouth tight, it is not going to happen. matlab loosely drop your jaw. That's what she's saying. Ye, put your finger and
turn it.
put your finger
have to
and turn it
blockfully.
like this. See, you can just follow me, all of you. Yeah,
And-
just imitate me. Monkey sees, monkey does.
Keep
Let's
the
do this.
eyes closed.
Yeah.
Eyes closed.
No,
And then
afterwards,
listen to
let
the
them
inner
see
sound.
me. Yeah, let them see me. First, monkey sees, monkey does. Remember that philosophy. Put your hand down like this. Not like this. Down, everyone. Put it inside. Now turn it up. Give a screwing effect. Drop your jaw. Suddenly, slowly.
Close the eyes.
Now close the eyes.
Mouth should be closed. Listen to the sound.
Yeah,
Now you can drop your hands.
right.
How many of you could hear it? Could you hear something? What was, please unmute yourself. What was the sound?
Use your
Like
reaction button if you've heard it.
was like thundering. Like
It
waves.
was-
Like a vibration
Yes.
inside, like a vibration.
Initially, it
When
was
we don't
vibration,
get
then
signal,
later
then
we heard a kind light sound.
Vibration.
I heard a heartbeat or pulse rate pulsating.
No, that you have to ignore. You are
can
not
also
going
put it
to listen to heartbeat. This sound is different.
Blowing of air. Saroj, blowing of air, as if the air is blowing.
Yes, blowing of air could be there. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Atsla.
Waves crashing on rocks.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
like a vibration.
Okay. Anyway, you keep practicing it. While practicing it, keep the eyes always closed. Okay? And then listen to it. Make sure that no outer side air or sound is going inside the ear. When you can prolong this listening, you will find some sound is coming. It has no beginning, no end. It is continuous. Okay? So leave this sound, which is you heard, there's some waves are there or some other sounds are there. It will be there. Initially, you will listen only this sound. But reach to the sound which is in continuously flowing. So concentrate on this sound. You will find the sound is becoming clearer and clearer day by day. Catch hold of that sound, but don't remain there only. Afterwards, you might listen to some conch sound. Shankh ki आवाज आएगी, वीणा की आवाज आएगी. So keep shifting your awareness. The sound will be coming from very far off. Okay? So keep shifting and take the sound which is coming from far off. It will become more and more clear to you. Okay, now we'll go further. Has everybody understood?
Yes, sir, madam.
I have a question. How long to do it? How long one can sit and do this way?
this has to, if you do prolonged practices, you will catch hold of lot of things, and it will really help you in revival of health, mental, emotional,
5
and
minutes
physical.
initially to start with.
So
5
you
minutes.
can use even the earplugs also. Sometimes, you know, you may feel problem that how long we can hold it. There can be pain in your hands holding it. But ears has to be blocked. Then only it is possible.
I'm asking duration, Saroj, how long? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how long one can do this practice?
Very good question, Dr. Achla. Actually, you will reach to the stage where you will not be blocking your ears. You will listen without blocking when you have practiced for some days. You understood?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm asking to start with generally how long to practice.
You
5
try for
minutes,
3-4
or we
minutes.
can go on practicing 1 hour also.
Try for 3-4 minutes, increase some more time, and then listen to that sound without blocking the ear. You will be able to listen to it.
Can it be, ma'am, can it be done multiple times in a day?
Yes, you can do whenever you want. You can
Okay.
do while lying in the bed before going to sleep.
Okay.
You can do early morning before when you get up. It's more audible that time. And the stage will come even with lot of noise. You can listen to their sound without blocking your ear. It is the practice which you have to do, and you will feel it. Now, what happens when we practice it? Initially, you will be in, there are various brain waves, as you know. Beta, alpha, theta, delta. I'll give you one example to explain it, the brain waves. Suppose you are going somewhere. You have to catch a flight. You want to lock the door and you are not finding the keys of the house. What will happen? You will look around on the dining table, in the cupboard, on the sofa, on the everywhere. Okay? What type of brain waves you will have? Haphazard. Okay? Very fast, chaotic. Somebody tells you, sit down coolly, think, when did you open the gate last? You sit quietly. You go to the alpha waves because you are relaxed. And you suddenly recollect, oh, day before yesterday I opened the door and I had another bag in my hand. I had kept it in the bag. And you go and pick up the keys from the bag. That time you become very cool and relaxed. You reach to theta wave. Only for some time. We are not able to maintain it. Whenever we reach to theta waves, there is a revival in our problems, whatever problem we face. So for health point of view, it is the state of meditation. It is helpful for revival of our health. Here, how you reach. When you start listening to the sound, I'm talking about para. When you start listening to the sound, that time you may be in beta waves, which is haphazard, not a relaxed state. But when you keep on focusing on the sound, you go to alpha waves. And after some time, you start going into theta waves. So whenever we say we can't do meditation, it will help you to go in meditation. And it is the theta wave, how long you can maintain it, you will find rejuvenation. The blood vessels are opening up. Very good for high BP if blood vessels open up. Circulation will be very good. Why we take high BP medicine? Because there is a constriction in blood vessels. So we take the medicine to dilate them. With sound, it happens automatically. Like that, it improves various other systems in our body. It is highly rejuvenating. As I told you, our subconscious mind is living in every cell of our body. It rejuvenates the cells in the body. I have practiced a lot of acupressure on my patients when they come in pain. And I have noticed the patients who make lot of sound, ah, ooh, ah, mar gaye, all sorts of sounds, they get more pain relief than the patient who are holding the sound. Interestingly, last 35 years I have been practicing, and I found in the patients creating the sounds, they give immediate results and they say, yeah, it is better. The pain has reduced. But the people who are holding, the next day also they will come and say, no, still I had pain yesterday. Still the pain is there. So how sound is helping, it is something wonderful. I think now we should go for question answer. Anything else, Pratap, you would like to add?
Captain, you have to unmute.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely, you have been flowing with the wind, and as they say, great. Please do ask questions if you have any. Just shoot straight, unmute and ask yourself. It will be great. Please do.
Shama aunty, you have to unmute.
Yeah.
Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
You have not unmuted, Shama. Yes.
People who are quiet and silent, do they have more health issues than people who are more vocal? Like some people at every little thing they start complaining and looking for relief.
Not necessarily. See, these are different personalities. Some people are very introvert. This depends on our emotional state. Some people are very introvert. Some are extrovert. But people who are expressive,
yeah,
sound is helping them. I have seen in my practice also.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of research papers have been published about the humming sound. How the blood vessels starts dilating.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of research papers have been published in medical history.
That's great. Actually, what Saroj Modi is trying to say is people expressive with different sounds will sound good. They have good health. But then there are people who are chatterbox and not really creating a sound which are positive sound. It may not help their hand. Am I right?
Chatterbox is a different thing.
Yes. That's what I am trying to differentiate. Yeah. That's right. Great.
Can you please put more light on the third level Pashyanti?
Pashyanti?
Yeah.
Look, as you know, the sound can impact us in negative and positive both ways. Positive sound can give us expansion of energy, and negative sound can deplete our energy. That I made it very clear, isn't it?
Yes.
Pashyanti is, I look at you, I'm looking at Kalindi, and I know how she speaks. Okay, I hear the sound of Kalindi and I know the Kalindi is speaking. So this is called sound of visuals. Whatever is lying with us, or we see or hear, and we visualize the things. That is what is Pashyanti.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
And in addition, yeah, do you remember when you go to the temple, you hear of the various sounds? Now, what is the benefit of those sounds? Would you like to know? Let's hear them.
Ringing the bell. People going to temple should ring the bell before worshipping the main deity, or if they find bell at the time of entering only, then they should ring it. These bells are made in such a way that when...
Can you all see this and hear?
Yes, Captain.
Yes, sir. Yes, Captain.
Okay. So this is the importance of the sound in the temple bells.
When they produce a sound, it creates a unity in the left and right parts of our brains. The moment we ring the bell, it produces a sharp and enduring sound which lasts for a minimum of 7 seconds in echo mode. The duration of the echo is sufficient enough to activate all the healing centers of our body. Doing production around...
Yeah. Right.
Now you heard this sound. What happens? For sometimes the mind forgets every other thing. Okay? When we enter in the temple, we are in beta state of our brain waves, which is chaotic, disturbed. The moment we hear the sound of the bell, we start going into the alpha state. And when we concentrate more on that sound, we start going to the theta state, which is a very, very relaxed state of our being. Depends how much you are maintaining it. Depends on the individuals. You just heard it and again you start thinking something else. Let me go, break the line, enter into the temple, again you are creating the beta waves. So depends with what attitude you are going to the temple. But if you are careful, listening to the bell, you will find you can feel the changes in brain waves there also. If you maintain that thing.
Yes. And you will notice that whenever, see, when we are in a conscious state, whenever we hear a sound, we form an image of that sound.
Yes.
Yeah. And what Saroj had told us earlier, let's say you hear a sound of a train whistling. You form the engine, the image of an engine or something like this.
Not only that, you use any sense organ.
Yes.
When we read the story or tell the story to the child, once upon a time there was a king. What are we doing? Creating the visuals. Somebody was asking me, Pashyanti, don't we create that visuals? Once upon a time there was a man walking on the road and went to the jungle. What is happening? We are creating the visuals. Visuals can create the sound and sound can create the visuals.
Absolutely.
It can happen with other sense organs also. We smell something. and I know surely it is the taste of so and so thing. Isn't it?
Of
It does
course,
happen.
absolutely. Yes. Now
Somebody is we live in multi-story buildings. Somebody is making halwa in their house. I can easily smell it. Oh, somebody is making halwa. I can't see it, but I can create an image. So sound can create image. Look at ultrasound. So they are only vibrations, but you can see the image of the fetus so clearly. The doctors are able to tell you the fetus is growing well or not.
And the meditation, when we do, what Saroj had told in the beginning, when you practice sound making, you must close your eyes. You said this, na? Correct?
Always,
Yeah.
always
You know
close the
why?
eyes.
Why do we close our eyes? Because to minimize or disappear that image making habit of ours. When we close our eyes, we slowly stop creating the image of that sound. And that is what is required for concentration in meditation. See, concentrate on that sound. That is more important.
No, what happens otherwise also, when we get into para, beyond that sound of silence, initially you have to block the ear. Later you are not blocking the ear, you are listening to the sound without blocking the ear. You get used to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you are not putting any efforts.
Effortlessly.
Effortlessly you are entering into it.
Saroji, we have a question from Pravesh ji who has raised her hand to ask a question.
Saroji, I would like to ask you, the sounds, if you create from any particular region, as you mentioned, akar, it comes from the navel region and it goes towards the legs. Does it help in healing that part of the body specifically?
Yes. See what happens when we are sick. Our cells of the body are not vibrating enough. You know, in our body, we have half dead cells also. We have dead cells also. So you have to give them life. When you generate more vibrations on regular basis, it will not happen just in few days. On regular basis, you will find the healing is taking place. Definitely, it does give healing.
Yes, you are absolutely
In fact,
right.
I have used the sound even on schizophrenic patients. People who had schizophrenia, it has given very good results. You can use, I have used the sound on mentally retarded children. I found very good results. The children who can't speak, the sound has helped them a lot.
Yeah, I wish to
Any
speak.
other question?
Yeah, I have.
Go ahead, Virendra Kumar ji. Go ahead.
Question is this: if we record a memory of maybe bad things more than good things, and whenever we are facing that person, we go with that kind of memory and we are expecting that thing. So how to tune ourselves that we become neutral and we are able to hear him properly or hear properly?
This is a very good question. Very good question, which everybody faces. In general, all of us face sometime in our life. What happens? We create the enmity with the person because whatever he has spoken and create that image. Look here, all of you are doing mindful meditation. What you are doing, you allow it to pass off. But consciously bring that person on the surface like he or she is standing in front of you. What is important? Forgive that person. You have to go in forgiveness. Not because that person deserves the forgiveness, because you want freedom from that sound, freedom from what you have registered in you. You have to forgive. It may not happen in one time. You have to forgive again and again to come out of that problem. Then only it will get neutralized. You can't change the person. You have to change yourself. And for your benefit, that is the only answer.
Yes, you are absolutely right, Saroj. We in our morning meditation, we do have a technique, Kalindi and Pravesh Sawan, you will agree with it. It's called mirroring the mind. We bring that person on the image in front of us and then seek forgiveness or even forgive somebody, you know. And the important thing here is, it is for the affirmations which I give later on is for my own emotional welfare.
Yes.
It is for my own emotional welfare.
Not because that person deserves to be forgiven. No, not necessary. But you will get freedom.
Yes, you will get freedom. You will get freedom from fear. You will be benefited by better emotional well-being. Yeah, that's what we do in our morning classes. And if you like, you can join us in the morning 6:30 to 7:30. We have every day morning classes, and log in by 6:15. But yes, and by 7:30 you will be done. Kalindi, you want to share something more?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Saroj Aunty said and to Birendra Uncle's question, you know, about how, so if you imagine, for an example, if one musician in an orchestra is playing off key, there is a loss of harmony in the whole piece of the music. And many times you can correct that by having a second musician stand next to the first one and play the correct notes. And just by hearing the correct notes, the first musician will automatically begin to play correctly. Same with our vibrations. We cannot change anybody, but when we change our own vibrations, they will react to you the same way. And what Saroj Aunty said, that all our cells are vibrating, and they're vibrating in coordination with all our other organs. And in fact, this was discovered by a Dutch scientist back in 1655. He called this Christian Huygens. He called this the principle of entrainment. He discovered that when he hung two clocks with different pendulum speeds close to each other on the same wall, the pendulums would ultimately synchronize and swing at the same speed. So the same way, when our body and frequencies, our natural frequencies, go out of tune, we can synchronize this with the power of sound and healing. So thank you.
Very right, Kalindi. I will add one more thing here. See, we said the environment is very polluted. Lot of pollution in the environment. Yes, there is a lot of pollution in the environment, no doubt, and we suffer because of it. But we pollute our body on daily basis, because whatever our thoughts are there, that type of secretions we have in our body, and we keep polluting our body from inside more than outside.
Yeah.
And whatever thought process is going in me, same type of chemical secretions I will have. Another thing, I will attract from the universe. You have seen the TV, radio. You match the frequency, 93 hertz, you will get the songs, 106, you will get the news. So you are tuning, isn't it?
Yes.
We also get tuned whatever is going inside us to the universe. So if negative things are going in us, we will attract negative things. positive things are going in us, we will attract positive things. That is what is happening with all of us. And we will omit the same thing, whatever is happening to us. That is why some people repulse. They don't want to come to us. Some they love to come to us. Why? Whatever we are omitting may not, the frequency may not match. It can be in good and bad both.
Thank you so much. Before we conclude, Dr. Achala.
There is one more question, a supplementary question.
There is no question from my side. I just wanted to add, we were talking about forgiveness. So forgiveness itself is a very long process and you need help. So don't hesitate to take specific help because those incidences will be roaming around in your mind and you do need, there are techniques to release those situations and emotions. And simply you may be not able to do that because I am attending workshop for forgiving and lot of muck is coming out which was stored in the subconscious, which I was not aware. I was reacting to the situation and I was not knowing why I'm behaving like that. But now I am going into the inner self and trying to clear with the help of people who are more knowledgeable and more experienced in that field. So I just want to request all the participants, don't hesitate to take help.
Thank you for sharing your experience.
She's a very, very close friend of mine, Dr. Achala Sethi, very close friend of mine.
Yes.
And I can see my brother and Bhabhi also here.
Wonderful, wonderful. I just want to add to what Dr. Achala said. Forgiveness is not just about letting go. It is also about carrying much more love for the other person. Much more love for the other person. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but looks upon it with greater compassion, mercy, and love. And more importantly, it liberates you, your soul, and removes fear from you. That is the greatest advantage of forgiving someone, you know.
Captain Mehta, it heals you. To sum it up, it heals you. It heals you.
Yes.
I'll ask one supplementary thing.
Go ahead.
You see, it is easier to forgive after practicing. But how to forget the regrets of life? You have to forgive yourself also for regrets.
Yes.
That becomes much more bearing than I think sometimes other persons.
So you have to create the same thing for yourself also.
Yes.
Same process you have to go through. I forgive myself. This feeling has to come and it may not happen in one time because the recording which we do in our memory many times, we think of the same incident many times. So it may not happen in just one time. We have to do, that could be sometimes ongoing process. So you forgive yourself for one thing. When you become normal about that thing, it's neutralized. Then you go for second thing. So you can take one thing every day, one incident.
Yes. And it's not a, like what Saroj has said, it's not a one-time activity. And it differs from person to person depending on how energized his mind is.
Yeah, it is ongoing process.
It's an ongoing process. And if you are into a continuous practice of mindfulness meditation, it becomes much easier to do this.
That is
much easier to do this. Yes. So if you have no more questions, Kalindi can do the honor of closing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Captain, as well as Saroj Aunty. We started with Vithala and we are ending with learning so much of different levels that you taught us about the sound. You took us through so many different experiences of how we experience the vibration of sound in our body. We're very grateful and very thankful for this experience and for your time. So thank you on behalf of all of us and on behalf of the Mind Retreat team to be here with us. And I would like, we wanted to get, we have one of our participants has offered to play the conch for us to end on a high note, to tune us up better. So I will ask Puran uncle to do the honors.
Thank you so much.
I haven't played it for some time, but I know I can do it. Thank you. One more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes, would you just inform the people who are newcomers here about our classes in the morning?
Yes, absolutely. So anybody who would like to join us every morning at 6:30 a.m. India Standard Time, we have free nurturing classes. We do meditation with Captain Pratap Mehta. These are guided meditations as well as knowledge sharing classes. So we encourage all of you to please join us in the mornings as and when your time permits. And we'll be happy to add you to our WhatsApp group where Captain often shares knowledge with us as well as information on the classes. Captain has included his mobile number in the chat group where you can reach out to him if you'd like to join our classes. So I invite all of you to please be there for us.
Yes.
And thank you so much. We will be back again next Saturday with another special session.
Thank you.
Kalindi. Thank you, Pratap.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you.
Thank
you. Really nice to see you, all
Roj,
of you.
Kalindi, Pravesh, Savan. It wouldn't have been possible without you all, all participants, you all rock and you are amazing. And I must congratulate each one of you have stuck here till the end. And beautiful. Welcome again now Rakhi Preeti from Mauritius. And our friend Pravesh. We have people from all over different time zones, over here. Loretta from Kentucky, Shama from LA.
Stop the recording, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
Also,